Oh, I don't pay for suits. My suits are on the house while the house burns down.
Welcome back to the Red Right Hand Podcast, the show that covers each and every episode of The Peaky Blinders. I'm Josh.
And I'm Curtis.
And we are back for season 3, episode 5, after Tommy just got completely wrecked at the end of last episode.
He's been kind of just chilling out, getting better for the last couple of weeks.
Yeah. And I know I wrote it down in here somewhere, but I can't remember how much time has passed. Like, kind of in
Did it ever really
his,
say? I don't even remember it saying.
at the end of his healing. I almost want to say it's been like 3 months or something like that, dude.
Well, it wouldn't surprise me, I guess.
Yeah, I know I've got it in here. We'll get there.
No, that
somewhere
sounds
in there.
about right. 3 months. That sounds about right.
Yeah. So the episode starts out with Tommy's in. It kind of looks like a hospital, but like kind of not. Yeah.
Which part are we
Is
talking
it-
about, though? The trippy part where he's like tripping?
Well, yeah. I mean, the trippy part, he's
Because we talked about
obviously
before,
just kind of on
like in an
death's
episode
door.
before. Yeah. Because remember, we were talking about, like, I think it was in the last episode about just like how weird of an opening it is to the show.
Yeah.
Or to an episode or whatever. But yeah, that's why I was wondering what you're saying. Like, are you talking about like that or like where he actually is?
Where he actually is.
I think it's a hospital. I don't see why it wouldn't
just-
be.
It
He
just doesn't
told-
seem
he-
like
Go
it
ahead.
doesn't seem like some of the places he's kind of been like in the hospital before. Like when he was in a hospital, whenever
Last
Savini
season.
put him there. Yeah.
Yeah.
It I don't know, it felt a lot more like a hospital. This feels like kind of secluded. Yeah, I don't know if he was kind of trying to hide out, or Ada took him to somebody in particular.
Maybe
It just
somebody
didn't
in
have like a
particular-
general
well,
hospital vibe, you know?
right, but here's the other thing too. I don't remember. Was he in London when he got attacked by Sabini?
No,
Because-
that was in Birmingham.
Okay, so he probably went to a Birmingham hospital or, something like that, or urgent care or whatever. And this one, he's in London because remember he was at Ada's house talking to some of her communist people, intel people or whatever. And then he was telling her, give me to a hospital, give me to a hospital. So I'm sure she took him to like one here in London. So it's going to be
Yeah.
a different look to it. It's not going to be the same.
Yeah. And
But
I guess
I get what you're saying though. It's especially when he comes out of his little trippy state and he's talking to Michael and he's just kind of like staring out of the window while smoking a cigarette. It's kind of a weird scene. I mean, it's very moody, and kind of dark and ominous. But yeah, I still think it's just a regular hospital though.
yeah.
Just a
I
different
just
one
thought
than
of
what we're used to.
Yeah. And I thought of too that most of the scenes that we get in the hospital are at night.
Yeah.
So it doesn't feel as like, there's no lights on, there's not people coming and going.
Mhm.
So yeah, I guess it would feel a little more sequestered.
Yeah.
So God, just some of the notes that I had like from his recovery, like you see the different stages of it. At the beginning where they have him in like the full, like I don't even know what they call that, like the headgear.
Oh, I don't know. I
Help
don't
me,
know what you
hospital
would
boy.
call it. I don't know what you would call that. I mean, the only thing I think would be like a collar, collar brace or whatever, but like, because it was like head part though, right?
I'm pretty sure they had like pins in his.
Yeah, I don't know what you call those.
Yeah.
But I always think of, now you say that, I think of Sweet D from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, because she had like on her back brace or whatever, it was connected to like
Yeah.
kind of her head too. So yeah, I don't know what you call that though.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever seen anybody in the hospital with that.
It's very old timey. It's
Yeah.
very like scary old timey medicine.
Yeah, I was about to say almost like torturous.
Yeah. Like you were saying, he's got visions of the tunnels. I think that's just when he's kind of at death's door. Then we see the progression of him getting better over the next few months. He also said Michael comes in to tell Tommy why he's got a personal interest in the priest and kind of what he's willing to do for Tommy about that.
Yeah. He wants to take the shot.
Yeah. He basically
Take
just
the
alludes.
shot.
Yeah. He just kind of alludes to having known the priest during his time at the parish. And my guess is Super Creep Jarvis or the priest.
I think it's just the priest. Yeah. Hughes, Father Hughes.
Yeah. So, yeah. Not
Super
great.
Creep Jarvis.
Yeah. Michael has had
MP.
a pretty rough childhood.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, yep. 3 months of recovery. That's
Okay.
what I had down in my notes.
That's what I was thinking. It sounded about right.
And then it's just Tommy and Charlie together, and Tommy goes and pours his, I guess it says
Morphine.
it's, yeah, was it morphine?
It's what he ends up saying later on, morphine.
Okay. He pours that down the drain, and which like, I don't know, I thought that was like kind of, it's an important scene for a lot of reasons, but it's an important scene because when the show starts, he's pretty heavy on the opium. And I feel like it was kind of hard for him to get away from that in the beginning, and showing that he has like prior problems, being able to just kind of look at that and be like, okay, like I'm healed up. I got to get this out of here.
Right. Well,
Just
one of
kind
the
of showing
problems
that he
Go
knows
ahead.
what's important.
Right. And one of the problems was he's talking to, and I can't think of her name. All of a sudden, his maid. I can't think of her name, but anyway, he's talking to his maid, and she's saying something about the morphine or whatever. He said, I poured it all out because he was asking her. He said, "Do you ever?" Is such a weird question to ask somebody. But he's like, "Do you ever come stand by my bedside naked and read from the book of Leviticus?" And she's like,
Yeah.
"No."
Oh, her name's Mary, I think, right?
Mary, yeah, yeah. And she's like, "No." And then he's like, "Well, that's it's the morphine that's making me see this. It's tripping me out." And that's why I think I agree with what you were saying about earlier about his little trip out in the hospital being kind of like a almost like a close to death thing. But I think at the same time, the morphine's helping that too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like the morphine is really messing with his mind and making him see a bunch of weird stuff, for sure.
Yeah. Unless that's in the deleted scenes. Mary naked at Tommy's bed reading
Actually
from the
doing it?
Bible.
You mean like actually doing it though?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I was about to say no. I mean, maybe I don't know. That's why I was wondering. Was like she was gonna be like, yes, maybe,
That would be weird.
yeah. Be like, oh, so wait, it wasn't the morphine? Oh, yes, actually, it was. Yeah, I've never done that before. I've never stood at your bedside. Yeah,
The only other note I made about that scene was cigarette breakfast, because he sits down to have breakfast and he's coming off of the morphine.
right.
None of that stuff looks appetizing at all.
Yeah,
And
and he's
he
got a
settles
bunch of
on,
it.
yeah. And he settles on a cigarette for breakfast.
Right. Yeah, I always thought that
Like,
was pretty
I've
funny
made that
too. He's like,
choice.
yeah, I'll take this one then.
Yeah. So I think this is Arthur, John, some of the other blinders. They take the young Soviet that was the informant that Ada knew. They take him to the factory to see all the tanks, and they pull out the firing pins from the tanks, don't they?
Yeah, they were. I don't know why they did. Oh,
So
the
that they
reason
couldn't.
yeah. I for some reason I was thinking of like a pin pulled out of a grenade. I'm like, why would you do that? But
Oh,
no. Yeah, no. Yeah, the reason they did that was so that the tanks wouldn't fire, and so the because who was it? The Soviets or no? No, not the Soviets. Whatever. What was I calling them? The Old Republic?
Yeah, the Old Republic.
Old Republic. No relation to Star Wars. It's like they use the tanks and then like they wouldn't fire. Hence
Yeah.
firing pin.
Yeah. And I think that was just kind of the solution, like to get around here, how they were going to make those weapons useless.
Right. But I said, we'll still go through with the whole robbery and all that different stuff, but your weapons are going to be useless and you're going to be, and he made a comment to the communist guy had made a comment about their tanks being out on the battlefields and coming at us and think they have the upper hand. And then all of a sudden realizing it doesn't work and they're just kind of defenseless now.
Yeah.
So,
so Tommy's going to send Johnny Dogs out to a piece of property that he's purchased close to Wilderness House.
actually butts right up next to it, I think, right on the property line. I thought.
I think it, well, yeah, I think it's like
Neighbors
separate,
or whatever, basically. Yeah.
like right there.
Right.
And Johnny's going to have a couple other families with him, and they're going to bring in some tunnelers to open up a hole and get into Wilderness House.
The clay kickers.
Yeah, going after those jewels. And then we get the reintroduction of one of our favorite characters. This is where Alfie Solomons comes back into the picture.
The Wandering Jew.
Yeah.
It's been a while, hadn't it? Has he even been in this season? I don't even remember if he's been in this season now.
No, he hasn't been in this season at all.
Okay. Yeah, the Wandering Jew.
Yeah. So Tommy's plan is just they're going to use him to appraise
the jewels.
A lot of the jewels they're going to be taking as payment from the Russians. And I think probably also they're just going to be using like some of his connections, like later on he asks him about like the Fabergé egg question, like
right.
Who are the people that I could sell this to, and who are the people I could sell this to who, even if they knew it was stolen, they'd be okay with it. So he knows all those,
right,
all the clientele for that. But I really like too his comment about the glasses, and I thought that was interesting, and it's something that I'm going to be kind of watching for, like through like further, through the rest of the series, because he tells Tommy that they're great glasses, you'll be able to read, and also you'll be able to see the future, and so I don't know, I never like really thought about that at all, but I think it would be interesting to keep an eye out on like when Tommy has his glasses on, at what like points and stuff. Yeah, no, just like an interesting thought that I was like,
yeah, I'm trying to remember. I don't remember him wearing them if at all in the next series or season or whatever you want to say. But the last season 5, he wears them a lot. I know for sure, or at least a pair of glasses. he wears a lot for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, I can't remember if in the next series or season if he wears them that much at all. But yeah, that's
And
an interesting point though.
it could be nothing, but I just thought it
No,
would be something I'd be looking out for.
they like to hide subtle things here and there, I think. I mean,
Yeah.
so it's definitely something to look out for. I like that comment.
Um, after that, no, I guess this is just kind of like a side convo in the kitchen, but it's for Tommy brings everybody in to talk to
Well, they're supposed to be waiting.
Alfie.
Yeah.
That's where we find out that John has gotten this girl that he was hanging out with at
Not
the
John.
or not
Michael.
John, Michael. That Michael has gotten this girl pregnant that he was with at was it at the was it the
It was at the
wedding party
party and
stuff?
yeah, the wedding party stuff. But let me ask you something. Is that the same girl? Because I don't she almost didn't look the same, but I don't know. I just there's a part of me that kind of questions if that's the same one, but it has to be, right?
I'm pretty sure that's her.
Yeah, I mean it's gotta be. I don't know.
Yeah.
So when we see her in like I think the next episode or whatever, just for some reason she didn't look the same to me, but I don't know.
Hmm.
Different light, maybe, I don't know.
Yeah. Um yeah, and then Michael doesn't know what to do about it. So of course everybody's just kind of throwing in their 2 cents. Um Tommy calls everybody in to talk with Alfie, and there's just a really good scene between Alfie and Arthur because it's the first time they've seen each other since and what happened in Alfie's bread shop.
Yeah, when Alfie betrayed him.
Yeah. So Arthur gets real close to hitting him with that ashtray, that glass ashtray.
Yeah. Man, that's crazy though, man. What does he say? Alfie says, he will no, you've done it. You've got I don't remember what he calls him.
The
But he says
genuine
about
article.
the genuine article. And he says now he'll kill for you and he's got God on his side.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh dude.
Yeah, he's like, that I find truly terrifying.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, and Alfie gives him a very half-hearted apology.
Yeah, I was about to say, I think a lot of times with Alfie, it's very, I don't want to say sarcastic. Well, okay,
I think it is sarcastic.
You think it is sarcastic? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very like slap in your face while I'm apologizing to you or whatever, you know?
Yeah.
But that's why we love the character so much.
So they're going to take Alfie with them to go appraise all the jewels. I thought you might be able to tell me a little bit more about this. When they roll up to Wilderness House, Arthur says something about how all the Russians ran, you know, but Tommy said the Cossacks didn't run. And I don't know what that means. I mean, it obviously means that they like stayed and fought, like they were not, like they didn't run.
Well, the only thing that I could think of was the Russian Revolution happened during World War One. Like it began, and so Russia was in World War One, but then they pulled out about halfway through to go to have a civil war, basically.
Okay,
you know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
that's what I thought of when he said that.
Okay.
So
who are the Cossacks?
Well, that's a good question. I don't know if they're like part. I don't know if they're Russian or not. Or maybe like Eastern European, like I don't know, Siberia, maybe. I don't know. That's one to look up though.
Yeah.
Like I've heard that term. Have you heard that term before?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't want to say that they're Russians though. But I don't know. I'd have to look it up. Maybe I can look it up right now. How about that, man?
um, when they get to Wilderness House, they do that super weird tattoo check on them. Um, they talk about how like people who work for their enemies usually have tattoos that say that they're employed, by that person or whoever they're loyal to,
Right.
and so they get checked for,
Strip search.
yeah,
Yeah, that's like to me, that's like one of the more awkward scenes in the whole series.
yeah. There's a few pretty uncomfortable ones, but
That one may
that
take the
one's
cake.
pretty awkward. Yeah.
Yeah. It says Cossack is was he a member of a people of southern Russia and Ukraine. So I don't know if like I mean I don't really know a whole lot about like the Russian Revolution, but I don't know maybe if like they just weren't like wanting to be a part of that. I don't know. Of course, it's part of Ukraine too. It said so. I don't know. Of course, Ukraine wasn't a country then. Um, Europe, especially Eastern Europe, was so like back then during World War I was definitely not what it is today. You know what I'm saying? Like country wise.
Like borderlines and
Yeah, it's definitely not the same for sure.
hmm,
Because I mean, like for one thing, you have like the Ottoman Empire was back then, and
mhm,
that's like non-existent. I mean, it's separate countries now, but it's I mean, like back then it was like the Ottoman Empire. That's like one big country.
okay.
But anyway, yeah,
Then we've got Michael and Polly. They're doing some paperwork for Ada's employment. Ada's finally come around and she's going to work for the family again. What does Tommy have her doing? It's head of acquisitions and
yeah. But I think it has to do with something over in New York, or not New York, but well, at least America, maybe Boston.
I think she's going
Because
to be
it,
in Boston.
yeah, but yeah, I think you're right. Head of acquisition or something. Because it has to do something with like their import export stuff,
Yeah.
obviously. The legal stuff.
Um, Michael's still kind of trying to figure out what to do, and he decides that he's going to call a woman that Arthur and John recommended to do an abortion for him for this girl. 'Cause I'm pretty sure it's the same girl because she was saying that in the first episode where he meets her, she was saying that her whole life is like mapped out, like who she's supposed to marry, like the things that are everything that's supposed to happen. And then Michael was saying that she didn't want her parents to know, like they couldn't know, nobody could know. So I'm pretty sure this is the same girl.
Okay. Just for
Um,
some reason in the back of my mind, there's just this little thought that's like, I don't know. I'm just unsure. But yeah, I think it is.
yeah. Um, also, that was kind of I don't know, maybe just a line I'd not listened to very carefully before, but when they say that he's turning out to be too much like Tommy, and
Mhm.
then he says, I thought that was the idea. Like I thought that's what like you guys are basically grooming me for. And like, yeah, Tommy, but with a little bit more class.
Yeah. Like the legal, Tommy's illegal and Michael's legal. So it's like he's
Yeah.
the legal part of Tommy. Yeah, I always
Yeah.
found that comment kind of weird too. It was like interesting, which I mean makes a lot of sense for future.
Yeah.
So
Um. Oh, so the guy that they've got in the house, the the kid, I don't remember his name. He was the one who wanted to open a pub,
Mm.
but he had a record. So the blinders got to him and got him a job inside Wilderness House so he could be a spy for them. Um, and he's freaking out.
The
Like,
Russians are crazy, dude.
yeah, like he's kind of losing it a little bit.
Well, I mean, like, well, I don't want to talk about it, but like some of the things like he's been asked to do by the Russian people there, it's like, I don't want to be in that situation either.
Yeah,
And they're basically just like, hey, hang in there, buddy. You got a pub waiting for you.
yeah.
Just think one day when you own your own pub, you'll be able to tell these stories of how you got your pub.
By doing all these favors for lords and ladies.
Right, exactly.
And yeah, he's been hearing them say things like they're gonna kill the Shelbys. So it's important that they have them in there. Yeah, and I also wrote down Russian orgy. there's
It's a
lot
thing.
going on there. Yeah, there was a lot going on there.
Yeah, a little too much going on there.
Yeah, and then because Arthur goes off with somebody, John goes off with somebody, like
Everybody
and
got somebody.
yeah, and I don't know. I feel like in the situation, they made him do the naked check for the tattoos. Like
Mm.
they almost kind of have to,
Have
like
to do what?
do like participate,
Oh,
like
well,
in
yeah.
just in the situation and everything, because
They're not going to let you sit around,
yeah,
sit that one out or whatever. But
I don't know.
yeah,
Tough call. Um, so they go to the vault and um meet up with Alfie there. And I like that little back and forth at the beginning between Alfie and the Duke,
yeah.
Romanov.
Is it Romanov? Yeah,
Is it?
yeah.
Um, the back and forth between them because they think that he doesn't speak Russian, but he does. So you can tell everything they're saying. And there's like, especially at the very beginning, when they start having kind of a back and forth, where we're not sure if either of them is just going to like kill the other one,
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
And towards the end, he's where he was talking about it being like held together with paste. And they're both like shaking. They're like so, like the Tommy's just like, hey,
shaking with anger.
should we finish? Should we
Yeah.
get out of here?
Yeah.
So yeah, he's basically just there to go over all the jewels, lay out stuff by value, and get the total sum of what they're owed. And then those jewels are going to be deposited to them after the job is done.
Well, we'll see.
Yeah. And Tommy knows that they're not planning on doing that, so they're making other moves.
Right.
Polly sees the painting for the first time.
And that's about it.
I just couldn't care less about Polly and the painter and that painting.
I think we've made that clear in almost every episode this season.
It's the time when I get up and go get a snack, and then I
it's
come
a bathroom
back.
break.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right, man.
But I get it. I get what they're going for.
Just some character development, I guess, really, more than anything.
Yeah.
But
she bangs the painter, blah 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 blah. Same old Polly story.
So if there's any guys out there that are wanting to get like a chick, all you gotta do is paint their portrait and then they'll bang you, right?
Get a time machine, and then you're gonna go back to a time when painting a portrait could get
Or
you
you some
laid.
chicks, man. Yeah. It's as simple as that. Now we just got to build a time machine. We're two smart dudes. We could probably do that, right?
I lost my place.
We're talking about the painter.
Yep. Oh yeah. So just back at Wilderness House, like I was saying before, I made a note that Arthur cheats on Linda.
Oh, by the way, did you notice he
Oh.
took the wedding ring off?
Yeah. Yeah. And then Tommy has some crazy choke sex there.
Yeah, that was going back to what we were talking about earlier with the strip check or whatever being awkward. I don't know. This one may rival it. This is so weird. That's why I don't like. I mean, this is a good season. Don't get me wrong, but like I hate when they have to deal with the Russians because the Russians are so weird.
Yeah.
Especially Tatiana, man.
Yeah. There's so many like shows like this, man, where one episode per season is like just it's literally everybody gets laid. And so there's like almost like a montage of like, oh, and there they are, like getting laid. Oh, and there they are. And it's just I don't know, it feels so gratuitous. Just like,
Yeah, it's like over the top.
I get
Why
it.
do I? Yeah, what does
I
that
get
have to
it.
do with anything?
Yeah.
How is this moving the
Uh,
show along to the next scene?
Yeah. Weirdly, though, I feel like it is giving Tommy some kind of closure on his whole Grace situation.
Yeah, I guess in a
Um,
way. But here's the thing about it, though. He never really gets over it, to be honest.
yeah.
Because he's still, even up to this last season, he's still having, voices and everything in his head from her.
Yeah.
So,
Um, Before this next part is the painter, his name's Ruben. I only ever realized that I think in this episode because I think that's the first time I ever wrote that down.
I've heard it before.
Is he in either of the next two seasons?
No,
He's not, is he?
I don't
Because
think
she's
he
with
is.
she gets with Abraham Gold.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't. He just kind of like it's weird because like he just kind of disappears in this at the very end of the season. Which easy come, easy go, I guess.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, here's a question for you. Do you really want him in the next season? Do you really want more like pointless, awkward scenes between him and Polly?
no, I really don't. And he also said that he's probably pretty much useless to them.
I was gonna say,
Like,
what are they gonna get into like some painting scheme now?
well, yeah, and he said most of his. Well, I was thinking like connections, but he said most of his
Yeah.
connections were because of his wife.
His
And,
wife, he has nothing.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, so with that, knowing that he's not going to be in anything after this, and might as well be a complete stranger to them,
Right.
Polly confesses killing Campbell to him. She tells him about how she killed him in cold blood. And she she was drunk before, but she confessed about the priest. Like she's just shouldn't be telling people about all this
She's
stuff.
got loose lips, man. She's just letting it
Yeah.
go. But I guess when you find somebody that you really like and really care about, you start kind of letting your walls down, I guess.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what she's experiencing, besides being drunk.
Um So Tommy goes to meet with the diggers. They say that there's 7 left out of 50 that were a part of their unit. He lays out the plan for him. What did they call them? Like, what did they call their
unit or whatever?
Yeah.
I mean, they called them. I only remember clay kickers. I know they said something else though, but I don't really remember what the name was. Something cool though.
Yeah. I don't remember.
Yeah, I don't remember either. What a job though, man. That's ugh.
Yeah. Well, and so a lot of those guys were just like Tommy, had probably never been any kind of like tunneling or mining or anything.
No, yeah, all
except
those guys
for-
were all volunteers.
Yeah, except for the guy who was leading him. Because Tommy says that he worked some kind of like some kind of diamond mines like somewhere in Africa.
I think he said South Africa or something like that.
Yeah, he said that was and he was the best tunnel digger he'd ever seen. Yeah, and I thought that was interesting. I was like, yeah, I bet that guy's probably got some crazy experience then. I feel like
He moved the dirt like I've never seen anybody move the dirt before. Oh man.
There's diamonds down here, guys. We just gotta keep digging.
We just gotta keep digging. We just gotta keep digging. Yep.
So Polly goes through Michael's office and she finds the bullet. First of all, it's a locked drawer. Like, I don't know why she needed to try to find the keys to get into this locked drawer. And she's just snooping.
Right. Well, here's the thing about it. They know, you can obviously tell that Michael's got something on his mind because when they're at Ada's house, they were kind of talking about it. And, it was visible to see that, obviously he's got a lot on his mind because he was wanting to rush through their whole, signing of papers, blah, blah, blah. And so I guess you just kind of like, as a mother, kind of curious, see, I don't know what you're going to find out in in a desk, I guess. But of course they kind of speculated whether it was like a girl, her and Ada did. And so when she opens up she finally gets it open and she finds that box. It looks like a wedding, like an engagement ring box or whatever. And then you open it and it's not what you expect at all. It's a bullet. It's the bullet from Tommy that has Father Hugh's name carved into it.
Yeah. What did she say? Because the gypsy rules say that once it's been
written or whatever.
Yeah. It has to be passed on. Like if it can't, if you can't do it, it's gotta be passed on to the next person.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so she talks to Tommy about it, but Tommy kind of tries to vaguely explain to her why Michael wants to do this. And again, just like it's Polly being way too overprotective of Michael, even though he's a grown man now. And her just saying that even finding that out, what happened to him, that she still is like, no, it can't be him that takes the shot,
Right. Yep.
So, and that's when Pauline makes her threat, that if Michael is the one who takes the shot, then she's going to bring the entire business down around Tommy. Which I feel like we never see that come to fruition.
No, not yet, at least. There's still time.
Yeah, but I saw something saying that I don't even know if she's going to be in, like, at all in the.
I think she will. I think she will be a little bit because she was still alive when they were recording, I think, but I think she died halfway through, at least halfway maybe. But I think I think, now I could be wrong, but I think she's gonna be partly in it. Now, what they're gonna do though, I don't know. Like, you know what I mean, to like write her off.
Yeah.
Do you just like send her away, or do you like actually kill her in the show? Because that's, I don't know. I feel like you can't really kill her because that's almost like disrespectful.
Yeah. Yeah, that'd be pretty brutal.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe she's just like, I mean, they're all pretty old, like Tommy's getting old.
Yeah. I just
By
feel like
this
she'll
point,
probably
it's
go
just
to like
like,
America, probably.
yeah. And she'll probably just want to get away, or that's what they'll
Yeah.
say anyway.
Yeah. She went on vacation,
Yeah.
a very long vacation.
And she didn't think she'd return. In fact, she planned not to.
Exactly. There you go. That's how it is.
I think that's it. I think that was the end of the episode.
Was it?
I think so. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's the last scene.
I can't think of anything else. Okay.
Came to a very abrupt end there.
Yeah. Oh, well.
All right. Well, have you been thinking over anything for the next not so tiny sode?
What do you think, it's going to be longer?
Well, the first one was like still almost an hour, and then
The first one was just over 30 minutes. The second one was longer, I think.
maybe, I don't know.
Yeah.
What do
No,
you got?
we'll keep it short. No, we're probably just gonna do like we talked about before, talk about World War One and like some of the battles that the brothers were in. Stuff like
Oh,
that.
okay, yeah.
Yeah. Just kind of go over that. Maybe we'll talk some Russian Civil War and look at some maps. Come with us as we take a journey into Europe, 1917, 16, something like that.
1916, 17, something like that, till
There's actually a button on our time machine that says something like that.
like a shuffle.
Yeah, it's like a shuffle button. Be like, go. And then just like wherever it lands, that's where we're going. Yeah. So anyway, that's probably what we're gonna end up doing. But hey man, we still got one more episode to go before we get to that.
Yeah, the only episode or the only season finale so far that doesn't end on a raise your drink to the Peaky Blinders note.
Exactly.
Because everything's just going so awesome for us.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden it just kind of goes dark.
Yeah, when I watched it the other day, I was like, oh yeah. Like I didn't like forget about it, but I was just like, oh yeah, I forget that this is like how the season ends.
It's hard not to forget how that season ends, though. I
Yeah.
mean, it's a pretty memorable moment. And I can remember the first time I watched it, I'm just like, what's gonna happen?
Yeah. Well, the
But-
last two seasons end with, we're blaring Arctic Monkeys and everybody's drunk at the garrison. We just took over another business or another huge, so it's just a big win.
Right.
And the end of this season is just not a complete win.
No, it's definitely not. I mean, I think like at least for like the first 3 seasons, it's kind of progressively gotten worse because like the first season, like you said, it was kind of like, hey, raise your glass. We've done this and we've done that or whatever. The second season, yeah, in a way, it kind of ended on a high note, but at the same time, it's like it was almost like a depressing moment too because he almost died, like getting so close to having what he was setting out to have. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then you survive that, and then like this next season just kind of ends so like 180 degrees from like what we feel like it should have been, or what, well, not maybe not like that, but like what it has been, I guess.
Yeah.
So, but we'll see, man. Stay tuned.
I can't wait to see what happens.
What is going to happen? Hey, prediction. Go and give me your prediction right now. What's going to happen in the season finale?
Tommy gets a visit from his dad. Surprise, he's not dead.
Nice, nice.
He's come back to hang out.
That's it. Just hang out.
Yep, the last episode is just Father
He's-
Sunday with
He's going to be a leech. Is that it?
the two of them.
Oh, not even the other brothers, just him and his dad. That's it.
Yeah.
Okay. I like that. I like that prediction, man. I don't know why, but deep down inside me, I feel like that's going to happen.
Queen's best friend plays for like 90% of the episode.
Exactly. Is that Queen?
Best friend?
Yeah, I don't. Is that Queen really? The one
Yeah.
that's like, people, let me tell you about my best friend.
No, the other
Oh.
one.
That's what I'm thinking of.
You're my best friend.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Been
They should just
with
put
you
both
such
those
a
in there.
long time. That one.
Okay. Yeah, I know who you're talking about now. Yeah, I was
Yeah.
thinking of the other one. I don't even know who sings the other one.
I don't know either.
It's some random guy, one hit wonder. If you
Yeah.
want to call that a one hit wonder, really.
Yeah, that's not a hit.
Yeah. Anyway.
All right. I think that's gonna do it for this one. This
You think?
go back and just start from the beginning.
We could, man. Let's do a review on the review episode.
We're gonna throw this video down at the bottom and we're gonna react to this video now.
We should do that, man. Actually, we should do that.
That sounds terrible.
Look how stupid I look. Why would I say what I just said there? Yeah.
Well, that'll do it for this one. We will be back next week with season 3, episode 6. And until then, just make sure to follow us on Twitter at RedRightHandPO1. My personal is Joshua Lynn Gary at Twitter. And if you're watching this video, you're probably already on our YouTube. So
somehow you found us.
Yeah. Just make sure to hit subscribe on that. And yeah, just if you're listening to the Spotify or Apple Podcast version, just make sure that you go over to YouTube and you can follow us on Is Survived by Productions or just search the Red Right Hand Podcast. We'll see ya.
Peace.